Welcome back to my F125 Driver Camaro Williams. This is part 14 today for the Brazilian Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode at Mexico, I recommend you go and check that one out before seeing this one, because, spoiler, double podium. You know, the first part of the race, we slowed each other up, but then I slowed Russell up, and that allowed Albon to get past to get that double podium behind Verstappen. Now, we've got regulation change on the aerodynamics and powertrain. Yep, I know it's not like real life where it's a completely new car. It's, this is probably, the last time I'm going to see these cars, really, because obviously the new next generation of cars are coming, of course. But, yes, it's just literally purchasing as much of the aero as possible. Albon's done one, I've done two now as well. But surprisingly, despite regulation changes imminent, Red Bull and Alpine have chosen to bring another upgrade. I hope that's not an aero or an engine upgrade for their sakes, because otherwise they're going to have to purchase that twice, basically. But obviously for Alpine, that's a huge step forward. They've gone from being the 9th team to now being very close to Aston Martin. They could be interesting position coming next season. Now, sprint qualifying. Yes. So, obviously, this is my outlap. Letting a few people go past. Hulkenberg then decides not to go at 2 miles an hour as well. And Norris, there's contact between Lando Norris and Hulkenberg there. And Norris has been given a 10-place grid penalty. Again, that should not be happening in the F1 game. They said they fixed it many years ago, and it's still a thing in the game. Up to the line though, first that was only good for P16 on the mediums. I think that was P10. It was P10. Well, it is P10 rather. Norris will be fuming as well, because he's going to miss out starting on pole. Antonelli will then start on the front row. That's a much big improvement for the Italian in the Mercedes compared to his teammate. He's only P9 as well. Mercedes really have gone off the boil, but the fact that Antonelli's in both the both Red Bulls in front. I mean, to be fair, we're all in front of in one of the Red Bulls, because Tsunoda's down in P15. So yes, as we move to the sprint, then race strategy is a bit interesting. It's either mediums or softs. I think that, knowing the tyre wear, I think we go for a set of mediums and hope for the best. I know that the softs are going to be bigger, but honestly, I think play it safe. We can get points from here, hopefully. So Verstappen is on the softs. The soft tyre runners, we'll have to watch out for them, but those softs will fall off later in the race. 5 lights then for the Brazilian Grand Prix sprint, and away we go. Is it an okay start? It is a bit of an okay start. Alonso there with a better start on the soft tyre. I'm going to sit down side of Ocon and my teammate side by side with Albon through the centre S's, but of course the AI have OP traction out the centre S's, as you'll see in a little while, proof of that. Up at the front then, Verstappen has got in front of Antonelli at the start. He's going side by side with Oscar Piastri as well. This is just a surprise as Verstappen is world champion. Albon going slowly there as well. I think there was a bit tried to take Hamilton. I thought I could get Norris and Hamilton as well, but I decided against that. The brakes not quite the agreeably there, as Albon's still at the inside. I'm going to send on Hamilton here, down the inside, textbook manoeuvre up to P6 as well. Next up will be Lando Norris, but I have a feeling he want to be getting them on a bit after yesterday's sore qualifying and be giving that 5-place grid penalty. He is on the soft tyres though, and I mean, just look at that, it's the fastest car on the grid. He's going down the inside of Antonelli, who's come a bit flustered. Unfortunately for the Italian, he's been overtaken by Leclerc as well, and I know I'm overtaking him. So Antonelli he's done this a couple of times now, where he has a good qualifying and just goes backwards in the races, whether it's a sprint or a qualifying or a main Grand Prix. Meanwhile, up at the front, Piastri has caught up to Max Verstappen, and Piastri takes the lead for now, as we're watching Hamilton now going past Antonelli to make the Italian pile on to the Italians' misery there. as he just continues to fly backwards. You move back to my POV then on lap 4, halfway through the sprint. Hamilton is the driver in front. I'm running out of VRS, and that Ferrari looks a bit rapid here. As you know, we are able to defend going through the centre S's. However,
okay, stand by. We see a problem our end, and we're looking into it.
well, that's not great, and it gets even worse.
We're looking at some imminent gearbox issues, I'm afraid. Watch out for jams and missed gears.
And to add my misery, just look at the traction the AI getting out of the centre S's. Yes, I've got a gearbox issue, but yeah, Antonelli's going to go back past actually and take P6 away from me. I've got nothing. I'm just holding on at this point. Albon is coming through as well, and this is disastrous. You know, I was on for P5 before this issue happened, and then, you know, it's going to be P8. Russell's having a go. It could be worse. It could be P9. It could be no points. I don't seem to have very good luck in sprint races for some reason. I'm going to use all the battery here now. You can see Albon's 2.5 seconds up the road. I think Russell got us. Well, that was pointless, wasn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, 9th place, no points. That is very annoying. I mean, we made 1 place there. We were on for 4 points, which, to be honest, you know, we're in a good position. It's just trying to impress whoever, Mercedes potentially, ahead of wherever I end up in season 2 coming soon. Yeah, Albon does get those points, but I'm going to move to qualify. I'm going to try and put those gearbox issues behind us, and then now it's just about trying to qualify well. I did put the AI up for the race by 1 for the sprint, so I thought, you know, I'll run with it in qualifying and see what happens. So yes, fastest lap time, and I'm not going to lie, first fastest line lap was only good enough for P14, so definitely something there. And it's not been a good first couple of corners, half a tenth down on my previous best time, and that's a terrible 10 out of S's, almost a tenth down on a previous best time. Still faster than Tsunoda. I've got for a lower drag setup. I did have to add wing between time trial and career mode. It was just not stable enough through the middle sector as well. That's a better corner as we come up the corner into the middle sector now. A bit wide there though. That's going to lose me time here. I'm going to try and gain some time here. There's time to be gained, but I mean, I'm gaining fractions of my best time. This has not been a good lap. You know, the sprint lap was probably better as well. I think that was a 46.5, a 9.5, excuse me. I think Piastri up there at the top, if your screen's there, said, the question is though, where will I come? I'm losing time. I was a tenth up, now I'm just losing time. Up to the line, and it is...
Easy top 3. If I'm not... 16th!
Oh, yeah. Well, qualifying's gone usually well, as it does on this channel. Piastri is on pole, and from Verstappen and Leclerc. Norris down in P4 there. I'm down in P16. I've got a lot of work to do. It's time for the race today's Brazilian Grand Prix.
Welcome to where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner, and just 1 year later, Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's time then for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We're racing then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3 that give us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Norris, Andrea Kimi, Antonelli, and Gasly, Alonso, Russell, Hülkenberg, and Alex Albon, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Behrman, Lawson, Phoenix, Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon. Doohan and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable of.
So, mate, you bagged a podium last race, and I, for one, really enjoyed it. I know you did, so let's see if we have more of that today, please.
Not entirely sure what Mark's thinking of there, because we're nowhere near the podium on P16 to start with. Race strategy is a bit complicated. There is an option to do a two-stop, to be honest, but I think they're just going to lose so much time that the one-stop's going to be the way to go as well. Everyone seems to be starting on hard. Alonso on the soft tyres, that's very interesting. Mediums for the two Red Bulls there, so I'm going to play it safe. We're going to go on the hard tyres. So move to 5 red lights then for the Brazilian Grand Prix here in Sao Paulo at Interlagos, and thank you very much, away we go. It's a poor start by Ollie Behrman there in the Haas. We're going to go up the middle between him and Lawson. Can we go around the outside here at the centre S's? Yes, but don't go too wide. As well, Hulkenberg still there on the inside. I think it's actually Bortoletto is going to side by side with Yuki Tsunoda down to turn 4, hopefully to get in front of the Red Bull. Yes, that's a bit crucial as well, because obviously Tsunoda's on the medium tyres. He will box earlier than us as well. Up at the front, Max Verstappen then has the lead on his medium tyres. Gasly down to second, Leclerc third, a lot of people on the mediums. Gasly's up in there as well. So we'll try and get in front of, see if we can get Albon, or needs to re-get in front of him. So we're going to have to send it on Hulkenberg at the last minute. I mean, I think he broke a little bit early there. I don't really know what was going on there with the AI there at that corner, but they definitely were braking a little bit earlier, and that was oh so close, narrowly missing the rear of Hulkenberg's car, excuse me, as we try and make that overtake, but failed to make the overtake there as it got too much of the grass. Hulk now continuing to get in front of Hulkenberg. The sound barrier has not got its upgrades like as real life. He turns right towards me through turn 1 at left-hander. Thank you very much, Nico. But we are now up to P11. Is a replay then. Hulkenberg, you know, yes, you saw that little swerve there as well as he moved towards the right. That is not good. Defence there as well. So we've got some graphical glitches there. I mean, that's just the game for you. Russell is in front of, Albon. And now I'm going to move on to Lewis Hamilton as well. But that Ferrari, as we know, is quick. So, yeah, from purple final sector, down the inside the centre S's, though, I'm going to get in front of Hamilton here, up into the points. Next up will be my teammate Alex Albon, or will it though? Because he's having a go at Antonelli. I said Antonelli likes to go backwards in races, and he's going back here now, down to P9, and then I'm going to follow through and get him as well, down the main straight, trying to push into the left-hand side. Swoop around the outside, turns the inside for the second at the centre S's, and up to P9. However, that's where progress will be halted because I've lost DRS to Albon. So I'm hoping the pace is good. But once again, Hamilton, after a slow start, has once again overtaken Antonelli, even with that lockup. I mean, that's nothing for the AI because I don't have the lockups mean literally nothing for their tyre wear. As well, but Hamilton's all over the back of me. Albon has got in front of Alonso. His tyres must be dying now. And at this point, I can't compete with that. Can I get him back through the centre S's? No, it's a poor exit, and then just look at that traction. There's just no hope for that. And at this point, I was thinking I need to get off these tyres. So it's a bit of a gamble here. Alonso is going to pit from his soft tyres. He's taken them 12 laps as we move on to lap 12, basically. Start lap 12. He's done 11 laps on those tyres, which is fair play to him. No one else has tried that. He's moved on to the medium, so Aston seem to have some good tyre wear. That's very interesting as well. Medium tyres are on for us. This is going to be a bit difficult. I'm going to have to stretch these to the end, but it could be interesting to see if we can get an undercut as well. Now, Leclerc has broken 3 then off the 2 McLarens who are squabbling like there's no tomorrow, like Williams were doing at at Mexico as well. Verstappen's also a bit on his mediums too, as well as we move a few laps later, lap 14 then. That is George Russell as well. Russell was ahead of us, as you recall, in the train as well. And Alonso, he's had a storming undercut. He's going to try and get in front of one of the McLarens as well. That is not Gasly in front of the 2 McLaren. That is actually Jack Doohan, because here's Gasly here, and he's had a poor start, but I just can't get past him. He cuts me off as well. Unable to get past Gasly there. And then, can I have a look at turn 4? No, but there's Albon as well. And there's Lando Norris down the inside, as it's not worked out for McLaren, the overcut there. I'm up to P6. Albon's up in P8 as well. And I think I've lost DRS to Alonso and Gasly, and I'm afraid that is a chance of 4th place over. Albon has got in front of Norris, but after he hasn't been helping me with DRS, we could have moved forward together. It decided to not let him pass. As that is Esteban Ocon, he is out of the race with an engine failure. Miserable weekend for the Frenchman in the Haas car as well. And that's Albon is missing his end plate as well. I don't know if that was caused by me with Norris and Albon side by side there. But yeah, now I did what Albon hasn't been doing for me. I actually gave him slowed down to give him DRS. Actually a broken DRS because he's got no front end plate. However, what does he do? He pits, and just like that, I've got Norris and Russell right up my backside. So yes, basically what needs to happen now is ultra defense mode as well. There's a bit of contact there with Norris at turn 4 as he sticks his nose in. Again, I'm going to have to send it here. I want this P6. Gasly and Alonso P4 and P5. This is a chance, but unusually I did get a good exit out of there because, stopped Norris getting a good exit out of the turn at S's. And then, of course, it's time to. I'm holding everyone up because Albon's on soft tyres. If he can actually get in front of this lot as well. Now, this is something that I did. I decided to try and get DRS of Norris, and look at that. Look at that. He's got 6/10. That is ridiculous amount of traction out the corners. And this is not just something that's been on F125, by the way. With traction out those 2 corners, yes, he locks up, but that makes absolutely no difference to him. And Norris is sailed off into the sunset because of the traction they get out of the centre S's. I'm now defending Hamilton for what is P7 as well. Hamilton goes down the inside. There's contact. I'm going to try and hold him off here as well. Hamilton again comes on the penultimate lap here. Round the outside for Hamilton, but he locks up. Thank you very much. And he's going to give me DRS because he goes over the line first. A little bit of too much curb there though, but I'm able to keep that P7 for now. So watching Yuki Tsunoda at the Solar X's, and that's a Spinala for him. So his weekend goes from bad to worse for Yuki as well. Have I got enough ERS to hold off Hamilton? It wasn't enough against Russell in the sprint, but I think it's just about enough to hold off Hamilton up to the line for P7. I'm slightly annoyed about it. It could have been a bit more. Tyre wear obviously was insane around here compared to the AI. I think that some of them could have done, especially Alonso, to soft medium as well. It is P7. I didn't realise about Albon. I think Norris was on the outside. I think there was a lot that I could have done. Norris, you know, I mean, my fastest lap was good. It's just that I'm not able to keep that consistency because of the tyre wear in this game. Finished 49 seconds off the lead. That's not really a realistic thing of where we were, but I was trying to help Albon get some points, which he didn't do anything. In the end, he just sat at the back of the train. But that does move me up to P6 in the championship because Russell had a poor weekend. So did Tsunoda. So there is something to play for in the final 2 races. P6, which would probably be my, even though I've not won a race, that would probably be my best finishing position in a Drivers' Championship Season 1 that I probably ever had. I am beating Tsunoda in that rivalry. 124 points is unlikely, so that's going to roll into Season 2 probably. We do get a bit of experience, and again, the stupid amount we get for racecraft and awareness. Pace wasn't actually too bad for Focus. Almost 73 rated already. 51.49 that is unmoved. So yes, but that's where I'm going to leave it to today's video. P7. I mean, it wasn't quite the P8 that we've been used to in recent races. We haven't finished P8 since Silverstone now, so I'm hoping we're going to shake that off. Yes, I'm looking for a little bit of improvement there. Obviously, the pace just wasn't there. The traction of the AI was insane at Brazil. Has been for quite a few years now. Vegas is a much better track, although there seems to be a curse about Season 2, but we're not in Season 2 yet, so we'll get to that. Hopefully we survive more than 4 laps there. And then it'll just be about Abu Dhabi, which, if I remember rightly, in F24 I DNF'd. I had an engine failure. We have had one engine failure, that was at the Spanish Grand Prix already. Then after that, there will be a little bit of a break, basically, between Season 1 and Season 2. That will just to be finish off the liveries. I have been working on the liveries behind the scene. Obviously, this video takes a little bit longer to edit as well because it's a sprint race, so that's what's just taken a little bit of time away. Once Season 1 is finished, fancy liveries will start. The retro liveries are taking a little bit too long, so I'm going to park those until later on. I'm going to get some of the other ones that need to be outdone first, such as the white ball, the pink RB, the Haas livery, not the McLaren Chrome livery because I actually made that one. I haven't yet have a look at modding onto that one to see. I need to see how it works in career mode. We are not another team, so yes, there's plenty of stuff. Don't get me wrong. I know the content's dried up, and I apologise about that. But there is content to come. Game experiments are also on their way too, as well, with stuff like the tyre wear stuff. I'm hoping to get a few more done, fan favourites. If you've got any fancy liveries or game experiments that you do want to see, then please do let me know in the comments below. Let me know also what you thought in the comments below, as well, with the Albon incident. Was that on me? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I think it's just a racing incident. The FIA said that as well. Until the next video then, all that is left to say is thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't watched it, then I really appreciate it for all your support on today's video. You could be watching something else, but you decided to instead come and watch me as sprint results are still bugged on F125, by the way. They're still broken. But yes, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.